It's not a job situation. Technical doesn't mean.
What do we got going on here?
We just have two agenda cases, those are on the text, so we're good. And hit record, hit record. So we just have, choose your use of agenda and on the side. Thank you for your patience.
Your staff.
I'm staff and, well, we kind of got that. Yeah, I'm gonna do the first piece and then Stephanie's gonna do the first piece. You're an actor. And the next month is that we will, yeah.
Are we recording? Okay.
Yep, streaming recording again. Good to go.
So we have a, we can, you want to, what time is it?
3:14.
It's 3:14. Time for the East Franklinton Review Board meeting. I'd like to call this meeting of the East Franklinton Review Board to order. Excuse me, I'll just call the roll, please.
Yes, Dr. Box. Present. Okay, is Mr. Redmond here? No. Okay. Mr. Fergus?
Yep.
Mr. Manfred?
Present.
Mr. Overly?
Present.
And Mr. Samansky?
Present.
Thank you.
Okay. Forum. Staff members, please identify yourselves for the record.
Belfish Showing also the Planning Division.
Stephanie Kensler with the Planning Division.
Okay, ladies, you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give today is true and accurate, to the best of your knowledge and belief.
I do. Yes.
Okay. Has everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes of the previous meeting? And are there any additions or corrections? And if not, I would entertain a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve minutes. Roll, please.
Dr. Box? Mr. Fergus?
Approved.
Mr. Manfred?
Approved.
Mr. Overly?
Abstain.
And Mr. Samansky?
Approved.
Thank you.
Let's move on to new applications. Our first new application is EF 21-07001, 500 West Walnut Street. The applicant is Jim and owner Jim Sweeney, and we are reviewing a change of use. Staff report, please.
Yes, so this is at 500 West Walnut Street, which is a single-family home located in the Arts and Innovation Subdistrict. At the February 2021 meeting, the board voted to approve a change of use for the building from a single-family home to an eating and drinking establishment, whereby an 11-space parking reduction was approved. Preliminary conversations with the city's Historic Preservation Office revealed that it is unlikely that the individual home can be listed, as too many modifications to the original structure have been made over time. Today, the applicant is seeking approval for the change of use and parking reduction to convert the home from a one-unit dwelling to a mixed-use building with an eating and drinking establishment and an outdoor patio on the ground floor and one dwelling unit on the second floor. So the application will allow a change of use with no other site alterations. And the architecture and graphics are conceptual at this point and will be a separate future application. So if we look at the meeting materials, it's fairly similar to before, but we have the home here of what it looks like. And then here we have a site plan. So this is here the front of the home towards the bottom there. And you see a concrete ramp with some stairs on one side of the building to access the unit. And then the ramp leading back to what will be a patio space. And again, it's all conceptual at this point in terms of the architecture. But you have a first floor conceptual plan there for the eating and drinking establishment. And then here we have one elevation, which is the west elevation. This is showing the stairs leading up to that unit, and then the back here on the left-hand side of the page. And then you have the front elevation. So again, you see this conceptual staircase leading up to the unit, with the front porch there. And then here's some other existing photos of the home as it is currently. And so after review, the application is generally consistent with the recommendations of the East Franklinton Creative Community District Plan. The plan does permit the proposed uses in this location and recommends that historic and other contributing buildings be preserved to the extent possible. 0 parking spaces are being preserved, and thus a parking reduction of 18 total parking spaces, which is an additional 7 spaces from what the board is currently approved, is being requested for the change of use. So the proposed East Franklinton special parking area would require 10 parking spaces. And so as the applicant has already received an 11-space parking reduction for the eating and drinking establishment use, and an existing residential unit is there already, staff supports the change in use and full parking reduction and recommends approval. And this is the very last board meeting that the board is allowed to approve parking reductions. After this, the East Franklinton special parking area will be in effect, and parking variances will not be able to be granted by the boards. Thank you.
Which we can all be grateful. Thank you. Any questions for staff? Hearing none. Is anybody here for the applicant? Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Come forward, please. I imagine you want this new arrangement here to be sitting right there.
We'll use the cool microphone.
Yes.
I won't touch it then.
Okay.
Perfect time. Sorry. Okay, sorry.
You swear affirm that the testimony you're about to give is truly accurate to the best of your knowledge and belief.
I do.
Okay. Floor is yours.
I think Belkis did an excellent job in presenting it. I really don't have anything else to add. I appreciate the committee taking a second look at this, and the idea is evolved, I think, to a good place. I'm happy to make an addition to the East Franklinton creative community.
Questions for applicant?
Jim, have you looked into the setbacks from side lot lines? I mean, I know that's not something we're necessarily approving today, we're just approving usage. But with your additions on kind of both sides of the house, do you have clearances on property lines from zoning that?
Well, that's a good question. The lot itself is 25 feet wide. And so I'll need to do get an easement from the neighbor to the east. My neighbor Mitzi will need to, and I'm working with her on that right now. But as far as side yard setbacks is no, I've not really looked into that.
A little bit. I mean, I think you're in the Arts and Innovation District, which I think has, we've talked about this in past meetings, 0 setback on sides and front. So I don't know why you wouldn't be able to do it if you've got 25 feet in width there, which I was just curious.
Sure.
It seems wide for your lot and with additions on both sides, but.
Well, yeah, so part of it is going to be getting that easement from her to the east. There's some disagreement with her regarding whether she actually owns that or not. Somebody placed a pin years ago. I believe she does own it. She believes she doesn't own it. So we're still trying to sort that out.
The questions or comments from the public? Now I'd entertain a motion at this point.
Motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
Okay, second to move the motion, the application as submitted.
Yes, Dr. Box, Mr. Fergus,
Approved.
Mr. Manfred,
Approved.
Mr. Overly,
Approved.
and Mr. Samansky.
Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shea.
Thank you.
Next. Yes, all right. Next item. EF 21-07002, 645 West Rich Street. The owner is Kim Miracle and the applicant is Oliver Holtzberry. And we are reviewing KTC wall signs. Stephanie.
Yes, thank you.
Workplace.
So this is for 645 West Ridge Street. It's the site of the Columbus KTC in the Dodge Park neighborhood subdistrict. The applicant is seeking approval for the installation of 3 non-illuminated wall signs, letters, on the west and north elevations. The letters will be routed 1.5-inch thick HDU letters, painted bronze. The submittal included measure drawings of the proposed letters as well as a rendered elevation showing what the letters would look like on the building as well as a materials description. So you can see that there's 3 separate sets of letters. There's the KTC on the one side, and then the front would have the address, and that would be the scale of how they would look on the building, non-illuminated, and then the painted bronze. So with that, after looking at all of that and the guidelines, the proposal is consistent with the recommendations of the East Franklinton Creative Community Plan. The plan recommends the use of contemporary design and materials, and that signage should be pedestrian oriented, not exceed 50% of the structure's width, or obscure any architectural features of the building. The proposed bronze painted lettering reinforces the industrial character of the East Franklinton district. It is of appropriate size, style, and placement, and does not obscure any architectural elements of the building. So staff recommends.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? Hearing none, the applicant would step forward and state your name for the record.
Oliver Holtzberry.
And you swear affirm that the testimony you're about to give today is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes, I do.
It's yours.
It's pretty standard here. We tried to, there's a one-way street there. So we tried to put the signage on the corner there where it would be most visible. There are entrances on both of these elevations here. The signs are non-illuminated. So that's really all I have to say about it at this point.
Good. Any questions for the applicant? Entertain motion.
Second.
Who was our second?
Okay, it's been moved and
I'll be second.
work it out between you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the application is submitted. Call roll, please.
Dr. Box? Approve. Mr. Gagnon? Mr. Fergus?
Approved.
Mr. Manfred?
Approved.
Mr. Oberly?
Approved.
Mr. Samansky?
Approved.
Motion passes.
Okay,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
all right. That's pretty quick. Our next regular meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, August 25th at 4 p.m.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3 p.m.
Okay,
I
okay.
was doing both University and East Franklinton this month, and they start at 4, so that's 3 o'clock.
All right. Very long, start right here. All right. That, we stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys say we start 15 minutes late. Done at 3:25.
Well,
Thank you.
that could be done online.
There's like a law, how
Yeah.
open meetings are or something.
Yeah.
So,